Hi, um, this is Alaguve. I'm going to talk about Flex 4 CSS cascading style sheet. When we talk about array technologies like Flex, it mainly concentrate on the UI part. So, getting to know about CSS is very much important while working with the array development, mainly with the Flex and Flex CSS. What is CSS? CSS is nothing but look and feel of your application. Where in Flex, you modify the appearance of components through style properties, like the properties of your component, the style properties of your component, like a color or a font size. If you are using label, means you have to modify the font size, color, etc. And particularly in using CSS, you have to know that styles property will apply through your the component level from the hierarchy level. Like if you are applying CSS to your parent container, means it will apply all your all the children of that particular containers. Previously we used Flex 3 CSS on Flex 3 as like predefined style sheets, like color, border color, background color, or up skin, down skin, whatever you want to do with your application. You have to use your CSS style properties. That's the only way you had with your Flex 3, and it also has limitations, like you don't have a scanning facilities in CSS Flex 3, and when you want to do something customizable with your Flex 3 style sheet, you have to write your programmatic skins, or you have to extend the existing components in Flex 3. It's almost very difficult to modify the particular style property which is not available in Flex 3. If you want to write a custom style sheet, means you have to extend the Flex 3 components. For that, you have to know about the Flex component lifecycle. It needs much more capable from the developer side, and that's it. In Flex 4, when we compare with the Flex 3 to Flex 4 using style sheet, we have limited style sheet properties in Flex 4, whereas we have full control over skins to change or modify your style properties in Flex 4. And moreover, you don't have up skin or down skin properties in Flex 4, where you can have a full control over skin parts, like you can change it to whatever you want to in the skin part, and you can even define your own style using the public property with the use of CSS. Like you can use a predefined properties in style sheet, and you can call it from the skin class. Moreover, Flex 3, you have applied skin class or CSS to the components. In Flex 4, you apply the CSS to component, but it will affect with the skin part. And these are the topics we are going to cover in this session. It almost full things using Flex 4 styles, like in deep dive into Flex 4 styles. Like I'm almost covered all the topics, like using styles in Flex, our style value formats, what are the formats we are going to use to achieve CSS styles, and about style inheritance and which way the style is getting applied through the hierarchy level, and using external style sheet like creating new style sheet using .css files, and using local style definition within the application document, like how we going to create a style sheet within the document using the style manager class, which is very important to know when you work with the style sheet, which is the controller of style properties and total CSS things. And later on we will know about set style and get style methods, and using inline styles and loading CSS at runtime. Okay, and before getting into this topic, first of all we have to know what are the components are eligible for applying CSS. Like you have to the component must implement the iStyle client interface to participate in this style subsystem at runtime. So the component, like a button class, it should implement iStyle client interface to apply or to participate in this style subsystem. Okay, and it should have the style metadata to tell the compiler to have the style properties and the CSS while typing. It will give a hint to you, and it will tell the compiler that it is a style property, and it will compile while creating the component. And Flex 4 styles. These are the basic styles available on Flex 4. Basic color, symbol color, rollover color, selection color, focus color, content background color. These are the color which are inheritable styles. In Spark application, all the styles are inheritable styles, which means if the application component has the base color, means it will apply all the child nodes of the component. So and styles are limited because skinning is so easy. As I said earlier, we have a limited features, limited CSS properties in Flex 4. So if you want to change the a button background, means you have to create a new skin for your button component. And when we got a Flex 4 release, we got a qualified CSS selectors. Like you can have both button, MX button and Spark button in the same application. So when you going to apply a different kind of style to the different buttons from the different package, like from the Spark component and package and from the Hello package, you have to specify the qualified CSS selector, like CSS namespace in the style sheet, defined here. These are the ways you can use to apply your CSS styles to your application, Flex application, using external style sheet and using local style definitions within the application, within the document itself, and style manager class to load the styles at runtime. Whenever you want to create a new button style, you have to use the style manager or get style declaration, and later on you can use the get style method to apply the CSS to your application, and inline styles within the button tag, and setting global styles using the global keyword, global selectors. And now we will have a look at value formats. What are the formats we can use it while applying your CSS to your application. Length format, like whenever you use font size at your in your CSS, you can have a format like a pixel, inches, centimeter, and millimeter, points, because, and you can also have a double X small, X small, small, medium, large, X large, double X large, and it is based on the browser system system oriented, like time format. You can have a time format for applying style, like opening the tree node, like you can set open duration using the style sheet. And the color format, you can have a variety of color format, like using hexadecimal or RGB color, or 8-bit 8-bit color, or VGA color name, which is predefined set as 16 basic colors, like silver or silver, blue, red, green kind of thing. String, you can use it whenever you use color format. Using arrays for style properties, like whenever you use alternating item colors, you can have a array of values. And about selector names, whenever you are about to create a selectors, like a button selector, you can have a hexadecimal value, like you can have a camel case format to create your selector names. And you can also have a hyphenated syntax, and most of the time you have to use camel case, which is the best practice. And at the same time, we will have look at CSS differences. In normal CSS is like applying styles using the normal default values, and here we will have what are the extents we can have in CSS, means like it should be a UI component to have your CSS applied, because CSS can be applied using only for UI component. So UI component is the end class for your CSS purpose. You can't apply CSS properties to the sprite class or display object class. Only support styles that are defined by the current theme, like the default theme in Spark or in Flex application development. You can have a default theme colors, like using from the Spark package. You can have a default CSS before setting your customized CSS. So it has some limitation within the default theme. You can have a embed keyword to embed your assets. And CSS media query feature in Flex supports only the screen type, like reading the DPI from the system, so that you can set your font size based on the screen size. And using document properties in CSS. Yes, this one is actually really a good feature. Like you can read the style values from your application, from the application root tag, root document. So if you have a public property, like setting of my font size like 15 something, you can read from your application document. And it has some limitations, like you can't have properties within your child nodes, like a child document. You should have your properties values within your application document, so that you can apply from CSS using the property reference. And this is a way to achieve the media queries to read your application DPI. And this is the keywords to embed your assets in your application. Like in MX button you can have a overskin embedded from the ORB overskin.gif. And these are the selectors available in CSS, like compound selectors. Like you can have multiple selectors within your style name. You can apply it, and class selectors using dot character. You can use the class selector, and the type selectors means you can have like a button. If you want to apply styles to the button component, like whatever button you are using, you can apply the type selectors. And ID selectors, based on the ID you can apply styles, and dissonant selectors. This is based on the hierarchy of your components. Like if you have a panel, and within the panel you have a button, you can set it like within the panel and button you can write your CSS. Pseudo selectors, using the state, based on the state you can apply the CSS to your component. This is the way the styles inherit from the hierarchy level. Like first of all, it will look at the global selector, and then from the default CSS, and then parent chain, like which is already the style. Whenever the components read the style sheet, it will first look upon the parent container. If the parent container has the style property, it will inherit from the parent container. And type selector, like if type oriented selectors, and after that class selector using the dot syntax, and at last in the inline selectors. Actually styles applied using the last update. Whenever the last style change property style change method calls, the flex applies the styles to the component. And if you finally call setChild method on runtime, means it will override all the settings. This is the way it will the selector precedence on the hierarchy level. Like local styles override global styles, and when styles have equivalent precedence, the last one applied takes precedence. And if you have a type selector and class selector for both, for a single component, means the class selector take place bigger from type selectors. And actually the flex CSS rules follows the W3C defined rule. Using external style sheet, using the fx style tag, you can import the external style sheet to your application. And if you set the style sheet in a child document, unexpected result can occur. Like you have to declare the style sheet in the application root tag. You can't import the style sheet within your child document. And using have to limit the usage of number of style sheets, like having few style sheets can be preferred. And if you haven't used any external style sheet, means flex uses the default CSS style sheet in the following SWC file. Like if it is a Spark, means it will use the Spark SWC file. This is the important thing whenever you use multiple theme for your application. Using the whenever you want to create or load the style sheet at runtime, you have to first create a CSS file, and then you have to compile using the mxmlc compiler to compile the CSS to SWA file, and you have to load the style sheet at runtime using the style manager and load style declarations, and you have to give a path to your the SWA path to the style manager, and you can use the unload style declaration to unload your runtime style sheet from the style manager. And what is the purpose of style manager? To adjust the style selectors and type selectors. You can access all the selectors from the style manager, like whatever styles you have used within your application, you can have a control over it, and you can create a inheritable or non-inheritable properties globally using the style manager class, and you can create a new style declaration and apply them to controls in your applications. It can be done at runtime using the style manager, and these are the sample ways to create your styles on runtime using the get style declaration method. Like if you want to access some type selector from the CSS or already created or dynamic created style selectors, you use style manager that gets style declaration, spark that components that button type, and you are setting the style as a font size 24, and using the class selector you can have the you can access the style class style from the CSS, and you can have this global style using the global keyword. This is the sample function for accessing all the selectors from the style manager. Like style manager selectors will return array, and here I have done a piece of code to find out which properties, which components has the font size, color, font weight, font family, font size property from the selectors from the style manager. So this is the result, and using the style manager class, you can create a new CSS style declaration using the style declaration method, and here is the sample code, like my spark dynamic style equal new CSS dynamic style declaration, and finally you will set the style using the style manager that set style declaration. And at runtime you will use set style and get style method to access style properties from the CSS, or setting the CSS to your component. Using the get style, you can access the properties of instance of objects or of style sheets. Yes, like getting the background color or font size from a particular component, you have to use the get style method, and set style method you have to very careful while using the set style method, because it's a very expensive call, and it's a question why it is expensive call means, like it should notify all the parent container whenever you set the set style method. So it's recreate the flow of the components, like from the parent it will create the childs one by one after setting the style, and if you want to use the set style method means you have to use it in the instantiation phase, like whenever you creating or pre-initializing the component, you can use the set style method, and that's it. We will have a look at the sample code. and first we will have a selector sample. Here we have a panel, and within the panel we have multiple buttons, and the first one is for example for type selector, class selector, and ID selector. Here we have used the type selector, class selector, and ID selector, and this is the designer selector, and this one is pseudo selector. That's it. Thank you.